Oh, guys, I was debating whether or not to talk about this because my passion with Silent Hill really is with the games, but here we are. The more news and things I hear about this movie Return to Silent Hill, the more I wince and squirm in my seat. This movie is likely going to be absolute trash, bin juice, an insult to the franchise, and let's talk about why. In 2006, Christophe Gans, a French horror film director, took a stab at bringing the world of Silent Hill to the big screen. The movie, simply titled Silent Hill, was heavily criticized at the time for messing with the plot of the games, putting creatures unassociated with the protagonist for the sake of fan service. I'm looking at you, Mr. Pointy Head Knife Man. And dialogue so uninteresting and bloated that even if you wanted to care, you'd be hard-pressed saying that you gave a fuck after the excruciating 1 hour 59-minute runtime. It was, however, praised at the time for its atmospheric shots of the town, creature design, and the fact that it was the best video game to movie adaptation we had kind of seen. It has a sort of loyal cult fan base still to this day. Some love it, some think it belongs in the garbage. It made $100 million and had a $50 million budget to make, so financially it was regarded as a success.
Honey, sometimes when you go to sleep, you go on a little walk, and sometimes you talk about a place.
I don't remember.
That's why we're gonna go there.
So there we were, sipping tea and eating scones in October 2022 when Konami put on their Silent Hill transmission livestream, which as we all know revealed the revival of the best horror franchise of all time. And yes, that's an absolute, not an opinion. You can fight me in the comments. Konami tell us about the 7.4 thousand new Silent Hill games in development, along with this new movie directed and led by the very same Christophe Gans. Christophe tells us he's very excited to be back making another Silent Hill movie and that it will be based on Silent Hill 2. But the more and more that comes out about this movie tells me it's going to be another loosely adapted flop, which will do nothing but muddy the narrative of the game and put yet another stain on the great name of Silent Hill. For example, let's have a look at this quote from Christophe in an article published by Deadline.com. Return to Silent Hill is a mythological love story about someone so deeply in love they're willing to go through hell to save someone. No it isn't. It's a story about a man who lost his sanity from the guilt of killing the one he loved and is in so much denial that he make-believes a letter written by her and arrives at Silent Hill to be mentally and physically tortured. This isn't a heroic love story. The distinction is what made the game so impactful. We were used to video game protagonists having a squeaky clean record and do-gooder attitude. Then comes along Mr. Sunderland armed with nothing but a pillow and some sexual repression and throws the entire conventional main character idea on its head. I fear that this movie is just going to lean into James being a good man trapped in a bad situation, even if he is portrayed slightly flawed. The obsession for happy endings in cinema and lead roles who aren't complete pieces of shit mean that this version of Silent Hill 2 won't be able to resonate like the game did. The lead roles have been cast already, and to their credit, they at least look the part. We have Jeremy Irvine as our pillow-talking James Sunderland, and Hannah Emily Anderson as Mary/Maria. I think just superficially speaking, once their hair, costumes, and makeup and everything's been done, I think they'll probably look on point. But once again, we might be falling for the same problems as the 2006 movie. Looks the part, but the story and dialogue leave the audience flaccid. Not even semi. It's not all about the looks, guys. Producer Victor Hadida says in the same article, Christophe and I have been working closely with our partners at Konami as they update the video game to also create a version of Silent Hill for the theatrical audiences of today. You will still find the iconic monsters, but there will also be new designs. We are confident that this new film and Konami's updated game together will propel the franchise forward for years to come. So, what, you're going to cram more monsters that don't belong in this one too? Fuck it, throw the twin victim in there. They're scary looking, aren't they? Pepper in a few slurpers. This is a fucking Silent Hill Battle Royale now. I hope what they mean is they will be working with the guys on the Silent Hill 2 remake and keep the redesigns closer to that. But who knows anymore? It's just... At the very least, we know we don't need another Pyramid Head 1v1 Mortal Kombat style fight. My God. The cringe is unbearable. If we're getting a next-gen remake of Silent Hill 2 and a movie about the same game, is there any real reason to make it? The big twist of the game is known by practically everyone at this point, so while the game aims to bring a classic into the 2023 standard of video games, the movie aims to do what? Change the plot? Mess with the monster designs? Have absolutely no shock value for the ending? Or change the ending and confuse the plot to the game? The real problem is, who is this movie for? Fans of the game or the modern horror movie audience? audience. Because if you mess with the plot and it's nothing like the game fans are pissed. You make a middle-of-the-road, bloated horror movie, the movie fans are underwhelmed. I really can't see this working the way they want it to. They could have the best intentions in the world, but ultimately it has an extremely uphill battle to fight to be relevant, or at the very least, a good movie. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, yeah, criticize it, but you're not coming up with any ideas yourself. And this is where you're wrong. Because I've got ideas, all right? And I'll share them with you right now, free of charge. Look at what The Last of Us HBO series has achieved. Yes, I know, completely different franchise and story, yada yada, but what they managed to accomplish was faithfully bringing the story of the game to live action, making it not just fan service, but expanding the characters and pleasing both fans of the game, but also people who like watching a dramatic TV series. Good story, good acting, high budget action, boom, done. I think that the Silent Hill 2 remake should have been accompanied by a similar series which explored the missing parts of the story to the game. Like, how did Angela end up on the floor of the Blue Creek apartments holding that kitchen knife? And what happened to Eddie leading up to him scoffing the pizza in the bowling alley? There's room there, you know, to make meaningful and interesting supplements to the story, which would be genuinely intriguing. If you're an old fan of the games, or a new one jumping in on the Silent Hill 2 remake, or just a TV series fan, it would add value to all audiences who would want to tune in. Plus, the episodic nature of a series allows for more time to flesh out characters and James's descent into insanity. Movies can tend to feel incredibly rushed, and you don't get the time to care for the characters. Just imagine that series to yourself now. How clever and cool that could be. But instead, we are getting either the same story as the game, which at best, if you've played the game, will be pointless, and at worst, insulting or disappointing if they mess it up or change things around. Silent Hill 2 is my favorite game of all time. I really wish Konami wouldn't be so risky when they commission things like movies and video games in this franchise. I am nervous for the future of this franchise, and I really hope that this game is amazing, Silent Hill 2 Remake, and even this movie. I hope that's great as well, but I am very skeptical about, to be honest, both. Bloober could well and truly prove themselves with this game, but this movie, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Am I like the only one sitting here worried about this? Or have more people got anxiety sweats too? If you liked this video, would you hit that thumbs up for me? It really helps with the algorithm. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. That's totally cool as well. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe, feel free to. But until next time, guys, I'll see ya when I'm looking at ya. Get out. Go on. Get out of here.